Hey everyone, my name is Mike. This is Dirty Cook Studio, and this is Devtober Week 3, Part 1. Thank you so much for checking us out. This is the start of Week 3, and this is going to be a very exciting week. One of the first things we're going to do is we are going to start adding in that distance progression that Sean talked about in his design video. We are also going to be adding in a couple of the enemies. Very light enemy movement. We're going to touch upon it, but it may not be finalized, so it may not look exactly the way that we want it to look, but it's going to be a prototype of how we want it to be. So we're going to be setting up the level progression and the distance progression. We are going to be playing around with it. We're going to be testing around the jumping, the movement, the speed, all of that, just to see what works and what doesn't. We are also going to be doing the enemy animation, the enemy death, and stuff like that. It's very exciting. This is where it all comes together, and this is just the start. So thank you so much for checking us out. I really hope you enjoy this video, and I really hope you enjoy all of the videos that we've been posting for Devtober. One of the first things we're going to set up is Sean's level design. If you recall from the video that he put out, we are looking for 4 minutes in the grass, 3 in the city, 3 in the swamp, with each minute representing a song. So it's really important to have the songs line up. So that is going to be the challenge of that issue. But what I'm thinking is that if you remember that sound manager that we created, I'm thinking that we could put some triggers in the sound manager so that when that changes, we'll alert our level manager. So that is the thought process there. But before we even jump into that, I don't want to keep looking at this placeholder. I want to get rid of this. I want to start looking at the player. I want to start looking at enemies. I want to start testing out the jump. I want to start playing this game. I want to start playing this game for real. I want to see where it's at, what needs to change. Right off the bat, I think this is way too slow. I think that jump is way too jumpy. So those are some of the things we're going to change right now, just to set it up, because this isn't right. So the only thing I just paused the video to take care of is the fact that we have a lot of space in this sprite, which is probably my own fault. But what I've done is I've just taken each of these individual ones and I just put them together in a multiple one. So we'll just let Unity take care of it. There we go. Now it matches where the capsule was. All right, cool, cool, cool. So hopefully what that has done is we've taken this constant that was down here, we've turned it into a variable so that we can easily change it, and we've changed the 1.3 to 1.694. Hopefully that gives the blocks the same kind of feel, they're just bigger. All right, I'm gonna call that fixed. So we're gonna jump in, we're gonna fix these, we're gonna make it a little bit bigger, and we will move on. So we've got just a little bit of a logic puzzle here. Just while we're playing it, I've been thinking, so you can see all of the green. I like the green, so it's the beginning level, right? You don't want to just get like slammed with all of these crazy ones. The jump is obviously not super like well set up, and I might actually want these blocks bigger. I'm gonna talk to Sean about that, about how he wants the design to look. But it's too fragmented like this, like that's insane. That's not cool. So what we want to do is just for the green level, we're going to do 8 to 10 green blocks before we spawn a spike or an empty. I don't want spikes spawning within 4 of an empty and vice versa. So we're going to throw that in here with some counts. We'll see if we can pull that together. Alright, so the basic thought behind this is that every time we spawn a regular block, count it. Because I want to know. I need to know the 8 by 10. If we spawn a spike, then I want to know that it has been 0 turns since we've seen a spike. Every time we do a regular one, we're going to do a count since empty and a count since spike to go up. So the logic behind this is that we spawn a spike, we go through all this, and we land here, we spawn a spike, then since spike is going to be 0, and there's going to be 0 normal blocks. So I want to start spawning 8 to 10 normal blocks before I even come back to spawning a spike. And that is where we're at. We're going to throw that in the inspector so that we can look at it, and we'll see what's up. So we're very close here. We are counting everything correctly, except our empty and count since spike are counting each other. Let's jump in there and change that. Okay, so we just changed the logic a little bit. So every single time we're going to be iterating, and then we'll just set our zeros when things happen. So we're going to run through that. We're going to see if that's working. All right, so we've just spawned a spike, and now we've spawned a normal. So since spike is 1, that's perfect. Normal block's 1, and it's been 6 since an empty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Perfect. This is giving us some more accurate data. All right, so we just spawned an empty. Empty is 0 since spike is 2, and then normal blocks are 0. Got a normal block, got a spike. All right, cool, cool, cool. So now these numbers are coming through correctly. All right, so now we got the right numbers. Now we can add the logic. So I think our best bet here is to actually rip this out, because now we're doing more than one thing in a function. We are counting it, and then we're going to use that data to spawn. So that's not really a choose block to spawn, that's a count and then choose block to spawn. So we're going to rip this out and put it in some kind of tally function. We'll probably add it in here. Yeah, that's where we'll add it. We don't want it running every frame. We want it running every time we spawn. Do that, and then throw that data into the choose block to spawn. Yeah, that's the way we're going to go. So as I was going through this, I was gonna see if we spawned 8 or more, and then we're gonna give we're gonna get back a 1 or 2. If it's a 1, spawn a spike. If it's a 2, spawn empty. But then I thought it's gonna be very easy to count 8 every single time and then know that you're gonna have to jump. So we don't want that. So we want to give it a chance to just spawn another block to just go past 8. So it's gonna be a 33% chance of one of them. And then as we move forward, we can change that up as well. All right, let's give it a try, see what it looks like. Well, that's not good. Oh, you know what? All right, we are going to do something that is really cool called debugging, specifically breakpoints. So whenever I don't know why I broke my code, we're gonna jump right in here. We're gonna put a little breakpoint right at level. Maybe the level's not set, and we're gonna attach that. Enable debugging, and we're gonna go through. And then as soon as that line of code runs, game is going to stop, which may have just instantly. Yep. We're going to step through. And this way, you can actually see all of your variable values. So I can see that normal block equals 0. Oh, so I can see that normal block equals 0, which means we're not spawning anything. If it's less than that. That was our mistake. And debugging is the greatest skill you can ever possibly have. It's going to save you just hours and hours of reading through code, hitting your head on the wall, and then begging other people to write your code for you. All right, so this is looking much better. Much, much, much better. Now our only issue is that our normal blocks keep going back to 0, and our spikes are going all over the place. So we're not out of it yet. Okay, so let's go through this logically, step by step. If the last one is empty, maybe we should, yeah. Alright, if we spawn an empty, count since empty equals 0. If we spawn a spike, count since spike equals 0. And if we spawn a spike or an empty, I think I over-engineered that by 1,000,000. Oh, there you see, there we go. Numbers are going up. Numbers are going up. Things are making sense. Here we go. Now we're looking like a game. Okay. Alright, I'm liking this a lot. Alright, classic issue. We over-engineered it. All of this is garbage code. So one little adjustment I do want to make is I don't think these empty spots are actually big enough to fall through. And I think I can jump over like, yeah, a good like 3 boxes. I think I want, we have a little bit of a double jump that we'll take care of later, but I think I want 2 empty spots for every empty spot. Alright, so let's logic that up. As I'm going through here, I'm just noticing all of my constants that I want to turn into variables so that I can very easily change all of my level stuff from the top instead of going through all of this. we go, as simple as that. Now, every time that we spawn an empty block, it'll actually spawn a double empty. All right, that is really cool. This is actually all starting to come together. This is really exciting. Okay, not gonna lie. It is really simplistic, but that was actually pretty fun. All right, I think we're gonna end it there. All right, so that is going to end part 1 of week 3 of Devtober. We adjusted the level logic, we added in the character prefab. Obviously, as you saw, there's some more sprites ready for the animation to pull it all together. Very exciting. We're going to start adding in enemies with enemy logic. As Sean said, you know, the fly guy, Charlie, is going to work a little bit differently than Big Bad Christopher, so there's a little bit of a difference in there, but it's going to work very similar to the way the level logic is set up. Currently, all we have is level 1 set up. However, it's going to be very easy to just bring that into level 2 and level 3. Very, very exciting stuff. I just want to thank you for checking us out. You can follow us at dirtycookstudio.com. We are a small independent studio. We plan on staying independent, so all of the love and support is much appreciated and amazing for us. We are at the very beginning of our journey, and we would love to have you come with us to watch us grow and put out more games. We are gamers making games for other gamers, and we really, really appreciate the love, support, and the feedback we've received so far. Check us out at dirtycookstudio.com to stay on top of all of our previous projects and current and ongoing projects. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to find all of our latest information. Thank you, and we will see you again very soon.